Alright, Captain's Log, Stardate, 21st. I have just recently seen a movie. First officer, what was the movie?
Greetings, humans. So we went and saw the Star Trek movie.
Yeah, you know, that new one.
Yeah, that flashy, new, exciting Star Trek movie.
And what are you doing?
I'm standing here.
Anyway, so yes, as you guys can tell, it's my dad once again, who is the major Trekkie.
I'm whatever.
Your enthusiasm is so nice.
Thank you.
So, I guess we'll talk just real quick on non-spoiler, because this movie has a, it just came out today.
Yep, just came out today.
Real quick, I think this is probably the best of the three, in my opinion, so far.
This is the most whole and complete. This one, unlike the second movie where they basically lifted, the plot line from Wrath of Khan, this one
is a totally original story.
Totally original story. It's very whole. It's complete. It stands on its own. Super, super well done. There's no, big holes in it. It tells a great story. What else? Let's see. All right, well, let's talk about things that were... Some things. All right, first of all, don't care if Sulu's gay in the movie. Who cares?
It barely even brings it up. It's like two scenes.
Yeah, it's two scenes. And not only that, and maybe he's not. I mean, maybe that's like his brother. I mean, who knows? I mean, everybody's saying it's because he's gay.
Well, they confirmed he was gay.
What, did he have a sign around his neck that said, "I'm gay"? No, he didn't. So that's when we talk about confirmation, that's what we're talking about. Anyway, but you know what? Who cares? Let's see, next thing. The ongoing love interest between Uhura and Spock is very interesting. Somewhat complicated, but nonetheless interesting.
Well, you'd be kind of a jerk too if your significant other was literally a human computer.
Well, whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Anyway, what else? Oh yeah, the nice homage to Leonard Nimoy in the movie.
Yeah. Did you see the person in front of us in the front row? Like, she was breaking down.
Oh yeah. She was had a little boohoo, teary-eyed thing going, which was kind of weird. Yeah. The script by Simon Pegg, very, very well done. I like that they did more with the
rest of
Spock-McCoy relationship. I thought that was very nice to see them kind of... And the two actors, Zachary Quinto and what's his name, Carl Urban, their chemistry is real. It's an honest to goodness thing, man. They didn't have to fake it.
It literally feels like sometimes, especially in this film, it literally feels like DeForest Kelley and Leonard Nimoy back together.
In a way, I felt some of that. Carl Urban has a lot of DeForest's mannerisms and things like that. And, he does the character a lot of justice, but also brings, that kind of more rough and tumble cowboy kind of thing to it as well, which is great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's hard for me to find anything about it that I don't like. The Idris Elba as the villain was fantastic. Normally, I'm more comfortable seeing him in the role of a kind of a tortured hero kind of a thing.
Well, this isn't the first time he's done villain roles. Earlier this year, he did Shere Khan in Jungle Book.
Yeah, well, right, but that's different.
Yeah.
But I liked his portrayal. Not to give too much away, but I really thought at the end when he had his humanity back that something would be different.
And it was like, psych!
Yeah, so I don't want to give anything away for those of you that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Because it actually opens tomorrow, but today was the sneak preview, so...
Yeah. The other thing is that this, Kirk finally won a fight in this movie.
Yeah, he didn't actually lose a fight in this movie, which was good.
I love the joke where he, when he comes back from that delegation, he's like, my shirt ripped again.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, because that's kind of an ongoing joke in the series. It never would take very long for Kirk's shirt to be ripped open so that everyone could see his bulging muscles.
Yeah.
It was kind of bittersweet watching Anton Yelchin play a much bigger role in this movie.
Yeah. And I was afraid in this film that he was just going to have a small role, considering that
he played a much bigger role in this movie.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool to see just him and Kirk hang out for a bit, because
Right.
that's never a dynamic we see a lot,
Yep.
especially in the old show.
No, yeah, you really never saw that. The other thing that I thought was a little, as with most Star Trek things, because it's set, in the future, and, there's that whole, you have to kind of have a willing suspension of disbelief and all that. It's, it's like they always manage to pull it off, whatever it is. And again, I don't want to say what really cool thing they pulled off in this. But they did a great job from a storytelling perspective of really connecting the dots all the way back to, dare I say, the Enterprise series that was on a few years ago. Tied it all the way through the original story. Didn't do any Next Generation stuff because that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you want to talk about a little bit of spoilers?
It's fine. We can talk about it if you want to.
So yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, just get out. Hit the pause button or watch later.
And okay, and our spoilers ready? All right. So if you're still here, here's some interesting spoiler things. So they find on this planet a wrecked Federation ship from like the 2100s.
They said like 160 years ago.
And they fix it up and make it work. Now that was the thing I was kind of alluding to before. I was like, come on, man. I don't know if you could really pull all that stuff off. Turns out also that the character that Idris Elba is playing was the captain of that ship, and he's transformed by some kind of indigenous technology on this planet that they crashed on into this monster, literally, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and what I like about Krull is that he's just sheer. Unlike the other two villains from the first two, Khan and what was the first villain's name? Nero.
Yeah.
They were, it's all about cunning and revenge and all that. Krull's just brutality.
Yeah, he was just straight up brutal, and so he's angry at the Federation. Well, he's kind of been twisted, into thinking because they never came looking for him, I guess. But so he discovers this super weapon, and he's going to unleash it on the Federation because he's just generally pissed off. It turns out, when I was talking about connecting the dots, that he was a Mako, and those of you who were fans of the Enterprise series know that those were the military guys when they were fighting the Xindi and fighting the Romulans.
And they actually mentioned the Xindi.
Yeah. So, anyway, I thought that was really good. I thought it was, what else? The love story between between Uhura and Spock is great. The getting the 160-year-old ship to fly and everything.
Yeah.
It was a little stretchy for me. And again, I really thought that when Krall got his humanity back, I really hoped at the last minute he was going to say, he was going to say something really profound to Kirk and about, from one captain to another, and
I kind of hoping it wasn't going to go that route, and
see, I really was. I was figuring that
I was hoping that he would just be like, "Oh, don't make him the good guy at the last second," and then be like, he looks at his humanity, he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna kill him anyway."
I don't know.
What's really cool, and you're not going to get this, but I wanted to bring this up because people who are watching this are. Krull's story is very similar to a video game race of villains from this game called Mass Effect. They're called the Collectors. And what they do is basically, they were a race of ancient aliens who were upgraded and mutated by alien technology, much like Krull and his crew. And what they do is kidnap and absorb other people, other races, and kind of capture them. Their ships and even the base looks very much like their... even the designs of the aliens are very much like their race. So,
Meh.
For any Mass Effect fans out there, I can't be the only one who noticed that, but that was the only thing I wanted to say. The new character of Jayla was interesting.
I don't know if they're going to keep her in future movies or not.
Yeah. She wasn't like, I can do everything. She was very, she had this tough exterior, but really, she quintessentially survived a Holocaust.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What else? Lots of action. If you like, whether you like, like hand-to-hand combat action, or you like space battle action, or you just enjoy good storytelling, you would love this movie. Totally 10 out of 10, would recommend. Let's see, so what else? Oh, trailers. Not a lot of great trailers in front of this movie. Ben-Hur is about the only one that I'm going to be interested in seeing. I'm always good for a reboot. It's too bad Charlton Heston isn't alive to be in it, but hey, whatever. And I guess that was about it. It was good. I'm very pleased. It was a good experience for everybody. You should totally go see it, and then tell me if you liked it, or tell me if you didn't like it. And if you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it.
So, I guess like on a rank. Well, we are getting a fourth film, but so far, where would you rank the three films?
Oh, this is clearly the best of the three. I would say this one, the first one, then the second one, in that order.
All right, I would probably agree with that as well. Not really much else to really say about the film other than it was, I thought it was because it's clear Simon Pegg knows how to write comedy as well as a Star Trek story.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is there were some dark moments in this, but there were also quite a bit of there was some humor. I mean, there was a couple of points where the whole theater chuckled over a few lines, exchanges between Spock and McCoy and Spock and Kirk, and it was good. And then there was they used the Beastie Boys song from the first movie
To fight
the aliens in the planet. You'll have to watch it. It's hard to explain. Anyhow, besides that, I would like to say live long and prosper. Anyway, thanks a bunch.
All right.
Deuces.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was my dad right there. So that's the movie review right there, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that. This was a lot of fun, like my dad was saying. This was a great story. I feel like this was a little more tight-knit, and it felt like going on the alien planet and actually giving more of the rest of the crew to do, because the first two movies have just been more about, Kirk and Spock. And not to say that this hasn't been a Kirk and Spock story, but you clearly see that they wanted to do stuff outside of with the rest of the crew, especially with Scotty and Bones and Uhura. It was really nice to see that, Chekhov got to do more stuff in this film than he had in the last two, especially since Anton Yelchin had tragically passed away. And there is a mention of him in the after parts of the trailer. And I also, from what I understand, that this will not be, he will not be recasted in the fourth film, which I'm surprised, they're going ahead with a fourth film already, so soon, even with but then again, I've heard, even in the earlier films, they were just oh yeah, we're totally doing this, so yeah. It's gonna be odd to see where they're, having no Chekhov there, but, what can you do, unfortunately? I think it would have been in poor taste to recast him. All in all, this was, I think, like I said, over one viewing, I was just yeah, this is probably going to be my favorite of the Star Trek films. I know that sounds a little you're getting ahead of yourself. Why don't you give it more viewings? No, Star Trek Beyond was... And what I mean by favorite of the Star Trek films, I mean by this continuity, of the Abrams continuity, of the three films we've had so far of this continuity, because nothing can top Wrath of Khan. Let's be honest. Let's be real here that, nothing can top Wrath of Khan, but... God damn it, in this continuity, unless the fourth one really wows me, so far Star Trek Beyond has probably been the best. And this was the one I was really worried about, especially with how the first trailer was, of how in your face and edgy it is. I was God, ooh, this is not giving me a lot of good hope. And yeah, so I was really thinking, oh man, this is gonna suck. And to my surprise, no. One of those few times where the third movie is probably the best. Anyway, so hats off to the entire crew for this, to the entire production team behind this. This is probably one of my favorite movies right now of the year so far. So yeah. So if you've seen it yet, if you've seen Star Trek Beyond, just comment below, let me know. And what did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? And once again, I'd like to thank my dad for coming on here. I know he sounded really bored, but it was it's 10 o'clock right now, and he's an old man. So old man need his sleep. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.